The 12th contemplation is contemplation of the aspirants themselves. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vaidehi, "After you have contemplated thus, next visualize yourself as born in the western land of utmost bliss, sitting cross-legged upon a lotus flower. Visualize this lotus flower as closed. As it opens, 500 rays of colored light illuminate your body. Then your eyes are open and you see Buddhas and Bodhisattvas filling the sky and hear the sounds of the water, birds and trees, and the voices of the Buddhas, all expounding the wonderful Dharma in accord with the 12 divisions of the scriptures. When you rise from meditation, keep those things in mind and do not forget them. Seeing them thus is called the visualization of the land of utmost bliss of the Buddha Amitabha. This is the comprehensive visualization and is known as the 12th contemplation. Innumerable transformed bodies of Amitayus, together with those of Avalokitesvara and Mahastamaprapta, will always accompany those who contemplate thus. To practice in this way is called the correct contemplation, and to practice otherwise is incorrect. The 13th contemplation is contemplation of Amida and the two Bodhisattvas. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vaidehi, "If you sincerely desire to be born in the Western land, you should first picture a figure 16 feet tall on the surface of a pond. The dimensions, the dimensions of Amitayus, as previously described, are boundless and beyond the mental scope of ordinary beings. But by the power of the original vows of that Tathagata, those who contemplate him will certainly succeed. You can acquire immeasurable merit simply by visualizing an image of that Buddha. And so, how much more merit will you acquire by visualizing his complete physical characteristics?" Amitayus, exercising supernatural powers at will, can freely manifest his various forms in the lands of the 10 quarters. At times he may appear as a large figure, filling the whole sky. At other times as a small figure, only 16 feet or 8 feet high. The figures which he manifests are all of the color of pure gold. The transformed Buddhas and jeweled lotus flowers in the aureole of its manifested form are like those described above. The Bodhisattvas Avalokitesvara and Mahastamaprapta have similar appearance wherever they are. Sentient beings can only tell one from the other by looking at the emblems on their heads. These two Bodhisattvas assist Amitayus in saving all beings everywhere. This is the miscellaneous visualization and is known as the 13th contemplation. To practice in this way is called the correct contemplation, and to practice otherwise is incorrect. 9 grades of birth. 1. The highest level of the highest grade. The Buddha said to Ananda and Vaidehi, "Those born in the Western land are of 9 grades. Those who attain birth on the highest level of the highest grade are sentient beings who resolve to be born in that land, awaken the 3 kinds of faith, and so are born there." What are the 3? They are, first, the sincere faith; second, the deep faith; and third, the faith that seeks birth there by transferring one's merit. Those who have these 3 kinds of faith will certainly be born there. There are 3 other kinds of sentient beings who also attain birth. Who are the 3? They are, first, those who have a compassionate heart, abstain from killing, and observe the precepts. Second, those who chant the Mahayana Sutras of greater scope. And third, those who practice the 6 forms of mindfulness. They aspire to be born in that Buddha land by transferring there the merit of practice. With the merit acquired from doing these acts for 1 to 7 days, they attain birth. When an aspirant is about to be born in that land, through dedicated and undaunted practices, The Tathagata Amitayus arrives together with Avalokitesvara Mahastamaprapta, innumerable transformed Buddhas, a great assembly of 100,000 monks and Sravakas, and innumerable devas in 7 jeweled palaces. The Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara, carrying a Vajra seat, together with the Bodhisattva Mahastamaprapta, approaches the aspirant. Amitayus releases a great flood of light which illuminates the aspirant's body, and along with the Bodhisattvas, extends his hands in welcome. Avalokitesvara and Mahastamaprapta, together with innumerable Bodhisattvas, praise and encourage the aspirant. Seeing this, the aspirant rejoices so greatly as to dance. Then he sees himself sitting on the Vajra seat, and following the Buddha is born into that land in the time it takes to snap one's fingers. After being born in that land, he sees the Buddha's body complete with all its physical characteristics, and also the bodies of the Bodhisattvas equally complete with all their physical characteristics. Hearing the discourse on the wonderful Dharma sent forth by the light and the jeweled trees, he then reaches the insight into the non-arising of all Dharmas. In a single moment, he visits and worships all the Buddhas of the 10 quarters and receives from each of them the prediction of his future Buddhahood. Returning to the Pure Land, he is endowed with innumerable hundreds of thousands of Dharanis. Such a person is called one who attains birth on the highest level of the highest grade.